I'm going to show you how to remove a CAS sensor or crank angle sensor from a 1993 Miata. This is the crank angle sensor. This is the portion that goes inside the engine here, and this is the part that quite often fails. It's the rubber O-ring seal that fits into this groove here. You can see, if you look closely, you can see it's flattened out and is no longer completely effective. So to get this off, I looked at a lot of information on the web, but it didn't seem to be entirely accurate. I mean, one thing I didn't read was removing the cam cover here. That was the key to getting it off, as well as removing this U-clamp, or this clamp that was over the this was fitted over the top of the CAS. And once you get that off and the cam cover, you can easily get the CAS off the engine. The problem is, in the back of the engine here, there's a very limited amount of space, and you can see that the bulkhead actually, it dips towards the rear of the car, just where the CAS is located. So it's actually quite, it's almost impossible to get the CAS out to the side or up from above without. Well, the other thing you could take off, there is a thermo sensor down below the engine. If you come around here, you should be able to see that, I think. Down here, there is actually a thermo sensor, but I could not figure out how to get the wiring harness disconnected, so I gave up on that. And it turns out that it's fairly easy to get the cam cover off and to get that U-clamp off the back of the engine. So all you need to do is you need to take off, first of all, you need to remove this, which is the coil assembly. This is held on with three bolts, but you only actually need to remove two of them. There's a bolt here and here. I've inserted them back into the cylinder head. It's this bolt here and that one, no, this one here. These two. You take those out, I think they're 12mm bolts, and then there's a third bolt which holds it down here at the bottom. But the great thing here is you don't actually need to remove the bolt. You can just loosen it off, and then you can pull the whole assembly upwards, and that comes off fairly easily. Then you need to remove the HT leads. Those for the spark plugs, the spark plug leads, they all need to be removed. And once you've done that, you need to remove the cam cover. So the cam cover is held in with a bunch of these, I can't remember what they are, 10mm bolts. They go in, I think there's 4 down each side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 1, 2, 3, 4 down this side. Then there's another 2 short ones at the front here, here and here. And those also hold this, I don't know, it's some emissions breather pipe going back into the cam cover. And then there's, I think, I'm not sure what there is at the back now, I can't remember. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any bolts at the back. And then there's these 3 down the middle here. 1, 2, 3 in the channel between the 2 cams. You have to take those out. Once you've got those out, you have to take the breather pipe going to the PC valve off as well over here. I think that's about it. And then it just comes off. I guess the negative with doing that is you may have to replace the valve cover seal, but you know, once you've got this thing off, it's pretty easy to get the CAS out. The CAS comes out pretty easily once you've removed those components, and then you can remove the O-ring. Of course, oh, and for the CAS, that's bolted on. There's only one bolt holding the CAS on. I put it back into the cylinder head. It actually goes through this hole here. It's a slotted hole, and it's designed so that the CAS can, it goes like this into the engine, so the CAS can actually rotate slightly, and you can adjust the timing. It was a little bit difficult to pull out. It was a bit stiff, so that's a little bit tricky. But I think I took it off while I still had the U-clamp on, so I suppose if I'd taken the U-clamp off first, it would have come out a lot easier. So that would have been, I would have just taken the cylinder head off straight away if I'd known how much easier it was going to make the job. So that's about it for removing the crank angle sensor on a 1993 Miata. Thank you.